Every year at the beginning of September, the world descends on Toronto for one of the biggest schmooze fests in the world. The Toronto International Film Festival has been around since 1976, drawing film watchers and filmmakers to the city to watch and showcase new projects. This year, one film in particular has garnered a lot of attention, The Good Lie, starring Reese Witherspoon.
They call us the lost boy of Sudan. I don't think we are lost. I think we are found.
Many have heard the real-life story of the lost boys and girls of Sudan over the years. Forced to flee their homes after war broke out in their villages and their parents were slaughtered, many of these boys and girls died as they walked thousands of miles, first to Ethiopia and then to Kenya, where they found safety at a refugee camp. It is there that a few lucky ones were chosen over the years through lottery to move away to host countries such as the United States. The story of Jeremiah, Memer, Paul, and their sister Abital in the new film The Good Lie is a depiction of this journey and is the first screenplay brought to the big screen for Margaret Nagel.
I finally got a meeting to go in and sort of try to be the screenwriter of the movie, and I came in and had broken the whole story, and I had gone and just printed out massive amounts of articles in the press and read books about Sudan and the history of Sudan and the different tribes of Sudan, and so I went in and just pitched this whole story about Theo and Memer and brothers.
It's also a story about love and survival. One, Reese Witherspoon says, drew her in.
I was really immediately pulled in by the story of the Lost Boys and the story that I'd sort of heard in the news and knew a little bit about, but didn't have any extensive knowledge of any particular one story. And just seeing their struggle and how that they fought for their lives and to survive, and with so little resource and so little help, and then had this opportunity to start over again in America.
Did your luggage come down the chute?
Great, but it was also, an incredible culture clash, and for a lot of Sudanese people, and also dealing with sort of the trauma of the life that they'd had before them.
A film heavily peppered with elements of faith, Margaret Nagel says it was a central part of the Lost Boys' journey.
I read about some kids that traveled with their Bible, and I just thought, I'm someone who has to have something to read with me everywhere. And I just thought, well, if you're going through a desert, and how great to read the Bible.
Backed by big names in the movie world like producers Brian Grazer and Ron Howard.
Survival skills are very impressive.
Thanks.
It deals with all of the important issues in our world, and in this case it's a redemptive story because there are some of the people did survive and made it through this obstacle course and made it the obstacle course of life and made it here in America.
It's an immigrant story, and that's what America has always been, a nation of immigrants.
Producer Molly Smith says this was just the type of film she wanted her new company, Black Label Media, to cut its teeth on.
It's all my fault.
Ultimately, it's a story of family and love, and those are the movies that will last, I think. They become the classics. It's told so beautifully, and so I really just want people to be able to, find the love and the humanity in this.
These Christmas decorations are very elaborate, yes?
Oh, I go all out for Christmas. I make my own baby Jesuses out of paper mache.
Filming the movie on 2 continents, the director wanted to make sure the film was authentic, hiring child actors who were the children of actual lost boys and girls. The 3 lead actors in the film, Ger Jirani, Emmanuel Jal, and Arnold Ocheng, also have personal connections to the film. Both Ger and Emmanuel were child soldiers and lost boys themselves, and Arnold's mother had to flee the war zone after his father was killed.
My story is, when I was fleeing, is actually I was smuggled into Kenya by a British aid worker called Emma McCune, and I was 13, so I just survived a journey where we escaped as a group of child soldiers. One of them was a Ger cousin who walked with us on the way, and so we were between 200 to 400 young people mixed with adults. In the end of the journey, only 16 people survived, and it was the lowest point because I was tempted to eat my friend. We had no food. But I was smuggled into Kenya and I started a new life from there.
It is an important story to tell now because our stories are not heard all around the world.
And it is a story that still continues to unfold today. It is estimated that hundreds of thousands are at risk of starvation, and millions have fled their homes due to civil war. In fact, Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya is one of those places filled with southern Sudanese refugees, and a place where the cast and crew filmed some of their scenes.
I cried when I was there because I've never seen anything like that before. You know, hundreds and thousands of people stuck in this place, and then, you know, they just want to be given a chance for a better life, but it's not possible, and it was heartbreaking to go there.
But it is a story, Nagel says, that needs to be told. The Good Lie hits theaters in select cities in the U.S. and Toronto on October 3rd, with a wide release in the U.S. and Canada on October 24th. In Toronto, Ontario, I'm Magdalene John, 100 Huntley Street.